Good afternoon. Welcome to Daily Currency Update from the Currency Desk. On Thursday, we saw the Indian rupee open stronger in the morning session against the US dollar. This was mainly on the back of expectations that there would be some positive measures announced by our finance minister in the statement that was due yesterday. But the finance minister failed to meet the market expectations as he did not announce any concrete measures to stem the fall in the Indian rupee. Due to this, we saw temporary losses for the Indian rupee intraday. But yes, as the day progressed, we saw some buying from the exporters on higher levels of the Indian rupee. Due to this, the Indian rupee found some support against the US dollar, and at the end of the day, it was able to close with strong gains. To support the Indian rupee, there was also the IIP data, which was revised from the earlier estimate of 2 to a 2.3% now. Again, overnight we had US data which was positive in the form of US retail sales and the US unemployment data. Because of these two strong data, we did not see much impact on the dollar, and the dollar was not strengthening that much against the major currencies. Today again we have seen a strong opening for the Indian rupee. On the downside, we can expect the US dollar to find some support at around 57.40 levels. Till then, it would be better if one would maintain a short position. Coming to euro, the euro largely remained flat yesterday. It showed some smart gains against the US dollar, but this was offset by the relative strength in the Indian rupee against the US dollar. There was not much reaction in the euro USD rate after the strong retail sales and the unemployment data from the US front. But yes, today we could see some correction in the euro as it has recently rallied up to 1.34 levels, which is a near-term resistance for the euro USD levels. Today we have the CPI data due from the European front, which might impact the market direction today. In the near term, we could see the euro USD movement mainly being dominated by the US data rather than the euro data. And talking about euro INR, we could see some correction in the euro against the Indian rupee, specifically because the Indian rupee is strengthening against the US dollar, and the fact that it is at the near term low highs against the Indian rupee. Coming to pound, the pound started the day with strong gains against the Indian rupee, but as the day progressed, we saw some correction in the GBP INR rate, mainly because of the fact that the GBP USD rate corrected in the international markets. We saw further fall or strong weakness in the pound later in the day as the Indian rupee strengthened. Again, we didn't have much reaction in the pound against the US dollar rate because of the strong retail sales and the unemployment data. So all in all, we can expect the pound to again correct because in the international markets there is a strong resistance at 1.57 levels against the US dollar. From there in again, if we see a fall in the pound, we can maintain a short position in the GBP INR. Coming to yen, the yen opened strong on Thursday, tracking the overall gains against all the foreign exchange majors. The weakness in the Indian rupee also supported the Japanese yen, but later as the day progressed, we saw that the relative strength in the Indian rupee had its impact on the Japanese yen versus Indian rupee rate. The US data didn't have any negative impact on the Japanese yen, and we are seeing the yen largely remain flat. But yes, if there's further positive data from the Japanese end, we could see the Japanese yen fall in value against the US dollar and relatively against the Indian rupee as well. Since we expect a strengthening in the Indian rupee against the US dollar, we could see similar strengthening in the Indian rupee versus the Japanese yen rate. Currently, the Nikkei is trading stronger, So this would have a reverse, we see a reverse movement in the Japanese yen value, which is expected to fall down, and based on this we could well short the Japanese yen intraday. Currently 6190 is being seen as a strong resistance for the Japanese yen versus Indian INR rate, Indian rupee rate. Thank you.